You wake up every day thinking you have time. Time to change, time to chase your dreams. Time to finally become the person you were meant to be. But what if I told you that the life you're living right now, this very moment, is silently slipping through your fingers? And one day, you'll wake up old and gray and realize with a crushing weight that you wasted it all. Stay with me for a few minutes. Because the story I'm about to tell you might just be your story. In the beginning, he was innocent. Almost too innocent for a world that so often feeds on softness and vulnerability. He was the kind of person who trusted people easily. He spoke gently, choosing his words with care because he believed they mattered, that they had power. And because of that innocence, because of that genuine heart, people laughed at him. They mocked his dreams, calling them childish fantasies. They insulted him openly, sometimes right to his face, other times in whispers behind his back. Some called him weak, a pushover. Some told him, with a cruel certainty, that he would never amount to anything. Some treated him like his very existence was a mistake, an inconvenience, and he absorbed it all. Silently. He didn't fight back, he didn't argue. He just took it in. Every single insult became a tiny scar on his soul. Every condescending laugh became a fresh wound that never quite healed. But instead of fighting back, instead of standing up for himself, he did what so many of us do. He blamed himself. He started to think that maybe, just maybe, they were right. Maybe he really was weak. Maybe his dreams were foolish. Maybe he was the problem, and that, my friend, is how life wastes you. It doesn't happen in one big dramatic moment. It's a slow erosion, a death by 1,000 cuts, happening in all the small humiliations you accept, day after day. There came a night, a particularly dark and quiet one, when he caught his reflection in the mirror and just stared. He didn't recognize the person looking back at him. The eyes were tired, empty. The shoulders slumped in defeat. He saw a person living on autopilot, going through the motions without any real purpose. All his dreams were postponed, buried under a mountain of self-doubt. All his potential was locked away, gathering dust. That night, something inside him broke. A final, shattering crack. But in that breaking, something else was born. A spark, a tiny flicker of defiance. He had a profound realization. No one was coming to save him. There was no knight in shining armor on the horizon. And the people who had hurt him, the ones who had chipped away at his spirit for years, they would never apologize. They had already forgotten. They had moved on. So he made a decision, a quiet, solemn vow to himself. He would not beg for their approval. He would not waste his breath explaining his worth. And he certainly wouldn't complain about how unfair it all was. Instead, he would do something far more powerful. He would rebuild himself. Quietly, he rebuilt himself in the silence, in the shadows where no one was watching. While others slept, he worked. While others were out laughing and partying, he was learning, reading, studying. While others continued to doubt him from afar, he was building discipline, one small habit at a time. He learned to turn his pain into fuel for his ambition. He transformed their insults into his greatest motivation. He used his loneliness to achieve an unbreakable focus. There were no grand announcements on social media. No posts about his new journey. He sought no validation from anyone. The only thing that mattered was progress. Silent, relentless, daily progress. And what about the same people who once insulted him? At first they didn't notice a thing. Why would they? True growth is quiet. It's invisible to the outside world until it's undeniable. Months turned into years. The small, daily efforts compounded into something monumental. One day, those same people saw him again, but this time they couldn't recognize him. It wasn't just a physical change, it was the confidence in his posture, the calm in his eyes, the powerful, quiet presence he carried with him. He didn't need to raise his voice. He didn't throw their old insults back in their faces. He didn't even mention the past. He didn't have to. Because his very existence, the person he had become the only answer necessary. That was his revenge. Not destruction, not hatred, but becoming everything they swore he could never be. His success was his statement. And here as the truth I really need you to hear today. The most painful revenge is success without bitterness. The most powerful response to your critics is a life well and truly lived. If you feel like you are wasting your life right now, if you feel underestimated, overlooked, or unheard, if people have made you feel small, insignificant, or worthless, good, because pressure creates diamonds. Pain can be the chisel that sculpts a masterpiece. But only if you decide today, right now, to stop living like a spectator in your own life. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for an apology. Start rebuilding yourself. Silently. Relentlessly. And one day, sooner than you think, you won't need to say a single word. Your life will do all the talking for you. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, subscribe for more. Your journey starts now.